all had different and varying experiences. I know for me, the most memorable political moment of my lifetime was being in London and the Trump administration being picked. I was living abroad. And that was very interesting, being in a foreign country, watching what was going on in the United States and seeing everyone else's reactions. It's quite a somber time. So that was me. If anybody else has opinions, thoughts, feel free to hop on in with those experiences too, you know.
I would like to hop in.
Oh, who's that? Who said that? Is that Al?
Ernesto.
Ernesto. Hi, Ernesto.
Yeah, I'm from Mexico. So.
Oh, where in Mexico?
Mexico City.
Oh, nice. I see that. We like that.
I'm deeply immersed in U.S. politics because I studied international relations, but I'm not going to talk about the moment related to U.S. politics. I agree with you. The Trump administration being inaugurated was something impactful in my life, but talking as a Mexican, the most important political moment of my lifetime was when in the 2000s, we finally broke the 70-year ruling of a single party. It was the beginning of not democracy per se, but a transition, a new era that hasn't been quite mature yet. We are experimenting transitions between parties yet, but it was the first step. So for me, growing up, just listening about this ruling party that was dominant in all senses and very corrupt, it was really, really important. It was my first vote, I believe. It was my first vote as for a presidential race. So that was impactful.
Thank you for that, Ernesto. I just muted and unmuted myself. I love hearing the differing perspectives. If anybody else has one they want to share, please feel free. Also, if you got your camera off, take that camera off and put it on. You can tell us about the most memorable political moment of your life, your lifetime, something that's really important to you, for sure.
Very large volume. I'll have to go back.
Head back there. Go ahead. It's fine.
The one that just popped up for me, and I don't know if this counts as political, but I feel like it does a little bit, was when RBG passed away.
Wow, not too long ago.
I can think of.
Yeah.
I think the one that, again, like Megan, I'm not sure if this falls under the category of political, but it's a moment I'll never forget, probably much like my mother can recount where she was when JFK was assassinated, and that would be 9/11.
Wow.
I think for me, it was hearing Lyndon Baines Johnson say, "We shall overcome."
I mean, I was going to say it was being at Obama's first inauguration in 2008. That was just amazing.
That definitely was one to remember. I remember watching that. It's definitely pivotal too. I think I cried.
Me too.
For me, I think it was this inauguration. It just felt like we were in such a fragile state, and that we actually pulled it off felt really, really amazing.
Okay. Wow. Anybody else? Anything else before I start moving on and along? I'd love to hear more. I think these are really riveting. Especially loved Carol. Thank you for your input in the chat. You remembering Dr. MLK in 1963, pretty cool. Stellar, stellar, stellar. It's amazing. Anybody else? We got another page over here.
This is Gloria. So Carol has opened the doors for me, going back to 1971, transitioning from a segregated to integrated school system.
And that wasn't really that long ago. Wow, not at all. Thank you for that, Gloria. That also gives me a lot of perspective, and kind of actually helps move along into our next portion. community efforts, going from segregation, separation into integration, integrated communities. I guess that's kind of what's really important right now, uniting and being on a united front. Sharing the burden and the responsibilities of what we have to experience within these communities. Everything that's happening right now is it's not very separate from each other. I always believe in this idea, this concept of what happens to me happens to you. And I think what's really important right now, especially having experienced recently the inauguration and then the week before that and kind of where we are today on this Sunday, there's a lot of things going on and a lot of feelings and I think ideas of what to do next and where we should go. And I think the one thing we can do is really start tethering ourselves to each other in the way we are right now in these moments, taking opportunities to see where everyone's heads are, see where everyone's feelings are. And I think with the new initiative, courtesy of Actually Curious, claiming the 1%, changing these narratives, I think we want to start claiming more for ourselves, claiming more within our communities and seeing ways in which we can really enact and engage in new ways and forms of community, essentially. Also want to thank everyone here again, for everyone who's joined in. Thank you again for joining us this Sunday. I see the newcomers, Honey, is it Kavya?
Yep.
Yes, Kavya. We got Javier returning. Thank you. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Jason. Yes, thank you so much again for joining and for kind of joining us on this journey towards empathy. I think something we can all benefit from and really, really deeply encourage within this new community and paradigm we're trying to shift into is empathy. It really helps change our perspectives and create new ways of existing. So thank you for joining us on that. Today, we're going to be talking with Michael Tennant, founder of Actually Curious, the reason why we're all here. I met Michael a few years ago and then reconnected with him this year, and it has been nothing but wonderful. I feel so grateful to have been brought into this community of Actually Curious, along with Megan Lee Joy, Caroline Quams, the whole community. Everyone is really doing beautiful work. And so I just want to make sure that we get the opportunity today to engage more with Michael and hear what he's doing and what Actually Curious is going to be offering for you and to the world in 2021. Where's Michael? I can't see him on the screen.
I'm here.
Oh, there he is. Hi, Michael. All right, take it over, baby.
Thank you, everybody. Give it up for Sid. This is her first week taking over the reins as the host of Empathy Workouts. Give her a warm applause and welcome. Sid, thank you for setting the context of this being a community effort. I put out a beacon of a request out into the world for support in many different ways. Caroline was with me from the beginning. Megan Lee Joy, she came on and started helping us produce these empathy workouts from October and into November. And now Sid is here to help us lead and to bring her spirit and her just ability to hold space and to just be warm and the embodiment of what we hope to foster here. This week, our empathy workout is Let's Wrestle with Empathy Together. And we write these descriptions before the day, and then we tweak it up until the moment. And so, what we wanted to do here was make this be about, we knew it was going to be after the inauguration. We didn't know what would happen. We just wanted to make sure we created a space for people to come together, talk about what empathy is, what it isn't, and what that will mean for us individually and collectively as we venture on into 2021. So we have a really exciting exercise for us all to practice strengthening a really important muscle of empathy, our somatic empathy muscles later on. But to lead us in there, I prepared a few words that I want to read, and then Megan Lee Joy is going to lead us into a grounding exercise, and then we're going to get our empathy workout on together. All right. So today, we as a human race, we're dealing with 4 concurrent stressors that are amplifying fear. Those are mass polarization, a global health and economic crisis, a racial justice and human rights movement, and a worsening mental health crisis. We choose to be here on a Sunday practicing empathy because we believe it will be a part of the formula and the skill sets of the leaders, the required learning that might bring us all to peace. My journey to speaking to you today about empathy was a very messy one. It took stumbling through relationships, arguments, jobs, careers, and most importantly, grief. Deep grief that brought me to a full stop. No more stumbling, and that full stop gave me the space to slow down and to begin establishing a real relationship with my feelings. I combined my urgency with education. I learned that there were 3 types of empathy. Cognitive empathy, which is the ability to understand emotions on an intellectual level. And we'll practice this. Joy, fear, anger, shame, and sadness. Somatic empathy, which is the ability to put yourself in someone else's shoes, the ability to feel the emotions of a person or a situation, or even to evoke emotion through language, expression, or creativity. And effective empathy, having a strong grasp of both and having an intuitive sense of when to apply both. So I combined that education with focused ways of being, curiosity, a willingness to slow down and have conversations with my emotions. And that's what we're going to practice today. I can feel my heart beating. It feels great. Being gentle with myself as I let my body guide me to root emotions. Bravery. Admitting to myself that the emotion of fear is present more often than I choose to admit. And because I deny it, other emotions tend to present themselves in its place, like anger and sadness, even shame and joy. And then compassion, acknowledging that we all experience trauma. We all experience fear, and we're all seeking happiness and survival. So these ingredients set me out in a space on the road, having new conversations with strangers, but even more importantly, having conversations with myself. I was headed down I-85. I was feeling a bit tired. At this point in the journey, I'd chosen silence. I started to feel a tingling between my left shoulder and my heart. And I felt the markers of sadness beneath my eyes and a bit behind my nose. I passed a sign that read, "South of the border." I remembered being a child in the passenger seat with flashes of both of my brothers holding the wheel. Mile markers slashing by. I sent breath to that place in my chest. And with each inhale and exhale, Sadness began to rise through tiny coughs. Something important was trying to present itself. As tears and snot and fear streamed down my face, I surrendered. No one near to break this genuine conversation that had circumvented my pride. I'd been here several times, and this time, like times before, I wasn't alone. I felt joy making that connection. I was on the road for a reason, beyond solitary reflection. With love, I allowed my mind and my body to travel together to those places where my brothers were there. Sometimes I get overwhelmed with sadness and fear, and then I see it. In the sadness and judgment and anger that we face, I also see it. I see it in the joy derived from taking another's place. I see fear. And I believe that fear can only be satiated with love.
Thank you for that, Michael. Fear can only be satiated with love. Just want to reflect on that for a second. Fear can only be satiated with love. I had to write that down for myself. On that note, let's move right into grounding with Megan Lee Joy. I think it's a perfect way to transition. Thank you, Megan.
Excited, you guys. All right, so first off, to begin, I want us all to jump into an open body. So if your legs are crossed, I want you to uncross your legs. If your arms are crossed, I want you to just like gently lay them on your knees beside you. We're gonna physically open up our bodies. Be open to feeling, open to receiving, nothing cut off. And so let's close our eyes for a brief moment. And to ground into this space, let's take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And in this calm and this grounded space that you are creating, we get to do just as Michael has explained and beautifully portrayed. We get to listen to our body's wisdom. And so focus on the sensations that are occurring within your body on this next breath. Deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And continue breathing at your own pace, being very aware of the sensations that are occurring in your body. Is the air cold around your nostrils when you inhale? Do you feel tightness anywhere in your chest or torso when the breath gets a little too big? What does the exhale feel like coming out of your mouth? And this awareness we get to shift into our emotional body as well. So for a moment, we are going to choose emotions and we are going to feel these emotions. So all of our eyes are closed and I invite you to get as silly as you can, but I want you to exemplify, to exaggerate the emotions I speak on your face. So if I say joy, I want your face to go just crazy happy, huge smile. It hurts your cheeks. So do joy. Joy on your face. What does it feel like? What does it look like to you? What does joy feel like in your chest and in your tummy and in your body? What are your hands doing right now with joy? Okay, let's go to fear. Over-exaggerate fear in your body. What are your eyebrows doing? How does your throat feel? Has your breath changed at all with fear? Now let's move into anger. Like cartoon movie anger, you feel that rage inside of you. Where is it? Where is that fire? Is your body more tense? Where is it more tense? What does it feel like? And now let's move into shame. What does shame feel like? Within your chest, within your stomach. How has the shape of your body shifted with shame? And now let's move into sadness. And just notice. Notice where and what sadness feels like in your body. And now let's move into happiness, just content. Everything you have, you need before you. Perhaps there is a gentle smile on your face. And come back to your breath. Noticing again on the inhale and the exhale how it affects you. And look back on this experience of how easy it was to choose to shift your emotions, but also how abundantly these emotions affected your physical being. And how we can reverse engineer that. A pain in your shoulder, some weight behind your eyes. Oh, wow, I might be sad. Let's lean into that and let it flow through me. Some excitement in your chest, some energy behind your face. Oh, wow. I'm excited. I'm energized. Let's lean into that. And so I'm leaving you with this one question. What is your truth in this moment? Not 30 seconds ago, not tomorrow, this moment. Feel it. Think about it. Speak it out loud as I speak mine. My truth in this moment is I feel grounded and calm, but I also feel a little anxious in my chest. What is that truth? It is tight. It feels a little erratic and energized. My shoulders are clenched. But my mouth, my face, my eyes are so calm, so peaceful, so safe feeling. And I acknowledge that they both exist together at the same time. Take a deep breath in and release with a sigh. And slowly open your eyes when you feel called to. And I invite you to take this awareness, this somatic listening and hearing into the rest of this experience today and the rest of your life.
Megan Lee Joy, thank you for that. Oh, that's good. I love being able to, I don't know how everyone else feels, but I love to be able to figure out where my feelings lie in my body. I'm a big movement individual. I've been training in movement for a very long time. So the ways that I connect to my body is so important for me. And so thank you again, Megan, for helping us ground in that moment. And we're actually going to move right into Michael because this is a really good segue back into the empathy workout. We're going to focus on these emotions and where they sit in our bodies, how to be able to access them, how to understand, how to better connect with them, how to let them go. So, Michael, let's get this workout popping.
Here we go. It's enough of us. It's time to turn it on over to you guys. This week's empathy workout we're calling Feelings Roulette. Like I say, it's been fun coming up with these little names for these workouts, and we're excited to just be able to see which ones work and then keep bringing them back. So today's empathy workout, Feelings Roulette. Megan Lee Joy, will you take us to the rules? So the rules for today, each round will require one volunteer to come up and demonstrate this exercise for the group. Everyone else, you can participate in two ways. You can really quickly, when you hear the question, you can share your reactions, but then I want you to then switch your attention onto the person who's sharing and really practice seeing if you can almost feel what they're sharing. See if you can practice strengthening your muscles at feeling the emotions that someone else might be imbuing. And in this case, it's easy because they're going to be verbalizing these emotions for you and showing you how it's showing up for them. So I'm the host. I'll pull the co-host, secondary host today, and I'll pull a card. And what I want you all to do is to first focus on the physical sensations. So scan your body and see what sensations come up. Share what you feel out loud. Like if you feel something in your shoulders, if you feel something in your chest, if your temperature changes, see, and then see what you can connect it to. Maybe it's the situation, but try to see what the card brings up for you. After you share the physical sensation, share the emotion. So out of the 5, joy, fear, shame, anger, or sadness, which we'll throw them in the chat as well. Megan, if you could do that, that'd be rad. And yeah, that's it. So this exercise, the point of this exercise is to get some practice isolating, really focusing in on what signals our body tells us about emotions. We're just going to use the happy hour edition cards, but I kind of filtered through to find cards that I just know that while they were written to be happy questions, interestingly enough, might actually trigger different emotions. I'll be excited to see what you guys share in the chat. So with that, who's up? Who's going to lead us off? You could just come off the mic, say hello, say your name, where you're from.
Yeah, feel free to unmute yourself and get moving.
Hey, Michael. Now I got a question just to clarify. When you said you want everyone to kind of initially say what they're thinking or feeling, do you want us to put that in the chat or to unmute and say it? I guess
No, just put it in the chat. So one person will share at a time, and after that person and this one question, then we'll get a new volunteer to come up. Thank you for that clarifying question. Does that mean you want to go, Donna?
Sure. Tell me again what I have to do.
Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to just get relaxed, kind of almost like establish a baseline. Everyone, you can do the same of where you're at. where you are in your body, I will read a question to you, and you will verbalize if you feel any sensation. So like if you feel anything, maybe like your temperature changes, or some common things for me, I might feel like a tingling. I might feel like my abdomen, or I might feel something in my shoulders. So verbalize the sensations you feel and see if you can connect it to afterwards, after this, you share the sensations, to one of the 5 emotions. And then afterwards, you can answer the question too.
Okay.
All right. I'll help you by like focusing you on the parts. All right. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. Your question is, what is the absolute best thing to do on a sunny day? Body sensations first.
My stomach is kind of getting into a knot, and my chest feels a little tight. Kind of breathing shallow. My tongue is dry. My mouth is dry. My mouth is really dry. My mouth is so dry. It's like my tongue won't move, and I don't know where my brain is. Where is my brain? Where is my brain? My head feels so light right now, like there's nothing in it.
Do you want to start connecting it to emotions?
I feel kind of, I feel shame, I guess, or embarrassed, or a little fear that I'm not able to perform right at this moment. And it's almost like I can't even, I think this question of joy or something that would be great to do on a nice day. And it's like, it's really hard for me to even connect with a feeling of joy. Because I just felt like I feel really ashamed right now. I feel some shame.
Oh.
A little bit of sadness, maybe. Maybe it makes me wonder how much joy is there in my life. If maybe there were more joy in my life, I'd be able to really, boom, hit that answer right off the bat.
Yeah. I can relate, Donna, for sure.
So I feel really sad right now, which is kind of funny because that question I thought was supposed to be what, I don't even remember the question, Michael, but it was something about what would be nice. It seemed like it exuded some sort of positivity. And yet my body didn't take me there. And now that's not where I am either.
Yeah. Well, it's okay, Donna. The question was, what's the best thing to do on a sunny day?
On a sunny day. The best thing to do on a sunny day. Oh, I think if you can, if you're able, is to go outside and really just take in the sunshine and take in nature and do something outside. And if you can't, like if you got a deadline you're working against or you're sick, to still even go to a window and look outside, or go into where the sunshine might be shining into your room, and let it envelop you and warm your heart and warm your body, so that you can at least get some sense of freedom and joy from that. So my short answer is, on a sunny day, is to go outside, whether it's 70 degrees or 30 degrees. Go out and bask in that light.
Well, do you have regular outside time?
I try to have regular outside time, but sometimes with working from home, working, I feel, let me just say, I'm very grateful that I have a job and that I can work that sometimes it is hard to get outside. Yes.
Mhm. I could imagine how even hearing that question could sort of have you associate more or less positivity with it, especially with what's going on for everyone. I could totally see that. As you started to say it, I started to just think about how I left New York and came where I am currently to be outside more, to literally be in the sun. So yeah, I totally relate to what you're saying. Thank you for being so open. Truly appreciate that.
Sure.
Yeah, Donna, thank you for really modeling going with where your emotions took you verbally. That took a lot of bravery. And I want to share, especially with you going to such a deep place with us. I want to help bring you back here with us, in the sense that that I too had a really powerful moment where I was thinking about trying to actually embody joy in my face and in my body, and I was having a really hard time, and I just kept with that difficult wrestle. Until I could extract something about my own difficulties connecting with the idea of joy at that moment. And I'm not saying that this is where you are, but I guess my invitation to you would be to spend more time with that question independently, and pull as much information out of it as you can.
Thank you.
All right. And there's some beautiful shares in here. Did you see all that support, Donna? It was crazy. Safe space for all the feelings, how incredible it is. Thank you for keeping it real. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Who'd like to help us model with the second question?
I'll help.
All right, Ruby. All right, everyone else, you're practicing too. Want to see the answers in the chat. Ruby, welcome back.
Hi.
So nice to see you here in 2021.
Woo, we made it.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, your question is, what do you keep on hand in your fridge without fail?
Eggs.
But you have to,
Oh, feel it.
physical, but eggs, yes, same. So now we get to just focus on, how's that question make you feel physically?
Physically, it gets a little hot in my chest because I'm always nervous. I don't have enough. My hands get a little sweaty. My brain goes into hypervigilant mode. And remembering okay, we had 3 eggs yesterday out of 12. That means we have 9 left. There's 2 more days till we go to the farmer's market. It starts to go into math, but that's a form of hypervigilance. My breathing gets shallower. Yeah.
What emotions do you associate with these?
Trying to figure out an emotion that would signify lack. Scared, nervous, almost afraid that I'm not taking care of myself. Yeah, fear.
Wow.
But I have them, so I can also remind myself that I'm fine.
You got the eggs right now, you're fine.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we had, that's interesting. Keep on hand without, what do you keep on hand in your fridge without fail? We got effervescence, sadness. A lot of people had similar feelings: stomach tightness, fear, scarcity. I started taking on the feelings that you were sharing, and going there and really putting myself in the place. I mean, are you Do you have other people in the household that you kind of take care of?
No.
Gotcha.
But I have a lot of allergies, so there's a lot of foods I can't eat. So it's like, it's not really scarcity, but that's where the brain first goes. Like, I don't have all the options people have. So if I don't have the things that don't make me sick, I could, yeah.
Okay. All right, who's up?
I'll go.
Susan?
Yep.
Hey, Susan.
Hey,
Hi,
Michael.
Susan.
Welcome back.
Hey,
All right, Susan. Let me know when you're ready.
I think I'm ready.
Okay. Your question is, what did 12-year-old you want to be when they grew up? Starting with the physical sensations, then the emotions.
I have a tingling in the back of my head and my heart is beating fast. My palms are sweaty and my mind is racing. So it would be fear and shame for not reaching that. 12-year-old me wanted to be an astronaut.
All right. Wow. Susan, thank you for sharing that. I'm just taking a moment to sit with the emotion of receiving someone else's honest expression in a safe space and holding space for that, not trying to change it.
You know, I'm also thinking about 12-year-old me and also 12-year-old all of you, just thinking about what's it like to remember being 12. And yeah, I think a lot of it is, some of it's scary, some of it's funny, some of it's weird. I'm getting a weird sensation, like several different feelings all at once. I don't know if anyone else feels similarly. I wanted to be an archaeologist, so I'm feeling dusty, feeling sandy in my hands.
I wanted to be, I had two ideas. One was like wanting to be maybe a lawyer, and another was wanting to be a performer. And I still don't know what I want to be. I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I'm 37 years old.
Michael, that is so real right now. Thank you. That's something that's been coming up a lot for me of we're in this world where we have to put ourselves in a box to be able to brand ourselves, to be able to market, get clients, even just apply for jobs. And I'm coming into this new space of like ripping open all of the boxes and like getting rid of them all and just like, what would I be if I could be all of it? What are all of those things? And allowing them to exist, whether I've done them ever before or not. So thank you for saying that and allowing me and hopefully other people to acknowledge that we don't have to know exactly who we are or what we want to be, and we get to continually create and discover that.
Thank you.
Also want to quickly shout out Al, validation for my journey. I like that one. What I needed was some validation when I was 12.
Amazing. Well, I think we'll have time for one more. but I want to first thank everyone. This is first time doing this exercise in a larger group. It definitely takes some bravery to go into that place in public. This is something that we don't often do. We spend a lot of time actually not even being aware of our emotions, let alone expressing them verbally. So thank you for the bravery. Let's Wrestle with Empathy is about getting into the messy work that is emotions together. So thank you, Donna. Thank you, Ruby. Thank you, Susan. All right, can we get one more volunteer? Nene?
Yep.
All right.
Yes. Let's get my angle right. Yay.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
I'm always ready.
Okay, your question is, who is a person you've gotten to have a conversation with that totally blew your mind? Starting with physical sensations, then emotions.
First, I got to think about who that is. I was just like jumping for joy. I'm like, yes. The stars, the moon, the clouds, all the constant, everything. It's just like bam, 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 pop, pop, pop. Mm-hmm.
Where do you feel it?
Where do I feel it in my whole body? My head's getting hot. My armpits are sweating, flying high. Yeah, it was my mentor for my diversity. So, well, I'm going to be doing the session next week, right? For you. So I do diversity consulting for Jennifer Brown, one of the biggest companies. And so I was going to this training for white people to get over their whiteness. And he looked at me, he was like, this is bullshit. And I was like, oh my God, who are you? This tall white man. And he was just like, no, this is not the right way. They got to get down to the real core of the issue. And I was like, yes, finally, bam. So Robert, my mentor and my boss. Yeah.
Amazing. Oh man, now I feel warm and I feel my head.
Yeah,
too.
man. It's just like, let's go. Life is short. Bam.
I did not know that Robert was a tall white man.
Robert Bevan, yeah, he's tall. He had on like, the playbook, the buttoned up shirt, you leave off 2 buttons, dark denim with the crease and some, really nice shoes, And I was just like, okay. But then he told me that, and he told me like his philosophy on being anti-racist and like how to be more empathetic, how to get over your whiteness, not as an individual, but as a collective sensation. And I was just like, you're my brother, man. Like, yes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop playing games, stop, crying, whatever it is that you just, yes. And so I'm so grateful for him. And then he like hired me to forward his mission, which is to find people that can have these brave conversations. So I've done it for the American Red Cross and have tons of other clients now. And I'm just like, when you are fully who you are, even if you know that it might scare somebody off, like you're either going to scare somebody off who's not ready, or you're going to find somebody who is ready. And it's like, bam. So I really appreciate that. And that's why I show up the way I do 100% all the time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Kanene, thank you for modeling all day, every day.
Stay ready.
And that brings us to the close of Feelings Roulette. Amazing. So that brings us to our open forum session where we take questions. You can direct questions at anyone here or just share comments from today, any reflections on the exercise. This was our first time doing this exercise. We do it in corporate workshops as well. And then we have some announcements, and then we lead us out with an intention for the week.
Any thoughts, any comments, concerns?
I'd like to offer one.
Al, and then
I just found the feeling alternatives to be kind of limiting and overwhelmingly negative. I mean, most of those things are things that if I see them coming from afar off, I'm like, okay, you got to go another way. So, I mean, I would have liked to have had some, things like peace and happiness and I don't know, just other things besides.
All within the joy category. I think every time that I've been a part of discussions, even as I've been learning about these 5 emotions, that comes up quite a bit. Like why do so many of them seem to be in the negative category? And I think it's, those are difficult emotions to address, but they're present more often than we're willing to, often acknowledge.
Yeah, especially if they're the only ones that you're considering. Now, I would imagine they could be.
Right. So, I mean, peace, I think, is within the joy category as well as happiness.
Okay, well, that was my only comment.
I appreciate that. I'll push on that. Hey, Lynn.
Hi, everyone. Actually, my name is Jane. My husband is Lynn. And so his name is on the computer, but we are both here. I wanted to say, well, first, I agree with Al's comment. I noticed that that most of the emotions appeared to be negative except for joy. So thank you, Al, for noticing that. I wanted to say, though, really, I'm just super excited. The only reason I'm here is my oldest friend in the world. We met in Girl Scout camp when we were in 4th grade, and our shared feeling was that we hated camping, which is funny because now I love camping, and we're both obviously grown up. We're no longer in 4th grade or anywhere close to that. And she told me about this, and she's not on here. So I'm grateful to her for telling me about this, but I'm wondering where she is. But frankly, I had no idea what this was going to be about. And I was a little nervous because she's white, like I am. And Lynn and I are somewhat recently, 2 years ago, retired from living abroad for 21 years. And we were in Kenya I was in Kenya for 5, he was in Kenya for 6, and we are now in Maine, and where we are in Maine is so white, and we really miss seeing people of color a lot. And so I was a little worried that this was going to be kind of a lot of other old white folks like us. So it's really nice to see that it's not. And it seems like it's really an interesting, diverse group. So I'm super excited to be here, and thank you.
Oh, thank you for that share. Yeah, we're really blessed to have such a diverse community coming together, different ages, different backgrounds, different places across the country. I'm actually curious to hear a little bit of like where people are calling in from today. Maybe some people who didn't get to share. This was a little bit more intimate of a empathy workout. Does anyone do you guys want to pop in and kind of share where you're calling in from?
Qualms here. I'm calling in from Chicago, Illinois.
Welcome, Qualms. Thank you, buddy.
Everyone.
New York City, but via Florida right now.
Bethesda, Maryland.
Oh, I see some Bay Areas. I'm from the Bay Area, but I'm in Los Angeles.
San Diego in the house. San Francisco Bay Area, SoCal, York, PA. Well, thank you guys for coming together with us. So we got some exciting announcements for the rest of the month and going into February. So you had the exciting sneak preview to next week with Kanene Holder, who just closed out the Feelings Roulette round. She'll be helping us kick off Black History Year. For us this year, it's about not just focusing on what allyship, what anti-racism looks like for the month of February, but setting the skill sets, giving you the tools, giving you the energy to propel the movement all year long, which brings us to the We Claim 1% pledge, which we launched last week. We're so excited. We have some exciting news that's coming out this week. The launch of the pledge was picked up in Ad Age last week. Please head over to We Claim 1% to learn more about the pledge. What this is about is us flipping the narrative on the term, the 1%, for it to mean 1% of the population pledging to spread empathy, pledging to do that work on ourselves, like the work that we're doing, maybe some lighter than we did today, but doing that work to be able to show up and spread empathy when it's tough. So go over to We Claim 1%. We'll be movement building all year long. We'll be announcing partnerships with brands and nonprofits that you can get involved with. We'll be announcing some cool products that will be available to help propel the movement. And then in 2 weeks will be empathy workout number 12, Do You Love You, featuring matchmaker, dating coach, podcast coach, Tanisha Wood. Here we're going to get into the topic of just really wrestling with the idea of how to truly love ourselves, and to find those areas where maybe we could love ourselves even a bit more, and how important that can be in attracting the right kind of community, the right kind of love in your life. So really excited about the kickoff to Black History Year with Kanene Holder and Yasmin Jamila, the founder of Transparent and Black, a movement to create more healing spaces for the African diaspora. So follow us on Instagram, sign up for We Claim 1%, and you'll get these invites as we're getting closer. And our intention for the week is, I find the bravery to sit gently with my emotions. Today, we took an hour to create the space to really focus our awareness on, even when it's difficult, sitting gently with our emotions, being alongside a warm community of people who are there to support you. Bring that intention, bring that support into the week. You don't have to spend a lot of time with these things, and go only as deep as you can go at that moment. But use this as an opportunity, use this week as a week to practice what it looks like to slow down and get curious about what those feelings are in your body and what emotions might be coming up. That concludes our empathy workout for the week.
Thank you, everybody, for joining today. So excited for all of our futures, for Actually Curious' future, and especially for next week with Kanene. It's going to be amazing. Yes, please stay tuned. Continue to stay locked in to Actually Curious, and we'll see you all next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Sid. Thank you, Megan.
Good to see everyone.
Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, everyone, for joining. See you next week.